Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the midweek update. We're going to start off today with the Dow 1 hour chart now. A little bit of a downturn today. Even though I'm considered a perma bull, I've been thinking and saying that the rally we've seen in large caps is absolutely insane, especially over the last month. And here we are, SPY hit a new post-pandemic high, all-time highs yesterday and today. Just really crazy when you consider the amount of damage that's been done out there. Now, I know as good as anyone else that the market is forward-looking, but it's forward-looking right now after having drank a case of beer, because those are some big beer goggles the market has on right now. Yesterday, we had some results from Walmart. Blew their numbers away. Online sales, fantastic for them. But, the little tidbit that you're not hearing them really talk about now, and they'll probably start talking about it in the next couple of days, especially if the market comes down. Once that extra juice started running out in late July, sales started dropping. So the idiocracy that we are seeing in Washington is just mind-blowing. It's probably going to take the market, as I've been saying, to slap these clowns upside the head and do a stimulus deal. Now, if we look at the 15-minute or 1 hour chart here, 27.7 possible breakdown. If we flip over and look at the daily chart, it's really been sideways over the last week on the Dow since we broke out. But the thing to look at, volume has just disappeared. Now, this is not uncommon for this time of the year. It actually happens sooner in normal summers, but this has not been a normal year. So I know a lot of you guys have been jumping out of the first floor windows because stocks aren't going up 50 and 100% every 5 minutes out there, and that you actually have to be really patient on plays and not every single play runs. I know this is a huge change for many of you newbies, but this is what the market can be like. This is why we sit back when markets like this. This is why we raise cash. We chop a lot of positions down. Last week, I was being very cautious. I raised cash levels to 80% plus, as I said on my swing plays, but still, everyone jumping out of those first floor windows crying about their stocks not running up, even though when you go and you ask these guys, well, what about the last 4 months? Well, I'm up 500%, but, I really wanted to buy that Lambo here this summer, and I gave back 25% of those gains. I'm up 475%, but, that's not enough. That's the kind of whining and crying that we're hearing out here in the market. So let's go into some whining and crying stocks here. ADMP. They actually had a fantastic report. Again, this market all of a sudden is back to a sleeper market where the only stuff that really seems to be moving is that garbage that gets the attention of one of those robotic programs, and then just the volume goes crazy. That stock today was AESE. There's a couple of them, over the last couple of days. Usually garbage news, but the stocks run ballistic, and it sucks everything out of the market. And that's all the traders want to trade. They just trade the scanners doing that versus where we saw everything and its mom running recently. Now, we're seeing stocks with very good news kind of been put to the side. Now, there's a couple of things going on. The large cap stocks are still up and telling us that COVID is cured. It's not, but that's one of the stories out there. The other thing is you're seeing a lot of shorting out there, not by these trolls that live under the bridges. We're talking like these trading programs are also shorting a lot of these high volume stocks, and then they pull the foot off the stock and you see those big spikes. Now, ADMP, I added to my swing position yesterday. Fantastic news in that. As I said, I have been a huge fan of ADMP since we bought this stock. If we look back here at 50 cents back in July, the stock doubled for us. It went from 50 cents or so up to $1.50. We doubled our money in 3 weeks on this stock. And now, so far, it's come back, a third of that gain. Yes, there's guys who bought up here because they wouldn't buy down here, but still, that is a fantastic move and a healthy pullback. Now, as I said, big fan of this stock. I did not realize that their drug was going into phase 2. That's actually very, very big. That is an advanced COVID therapeutic right there. Phase 2. A lot of these stocks are trading at 100, 200, 500 billion-dollar market caps with animal studies and phase 1 trials. So just to give you an idea of how big this potentially can be, they also said that now they got the FDA okay to move in to this next stage of trials, that they're going to look for funding from the government. So we've got a couple of big potential press releases coming. Now, when I talked about this stock on the weekend video, I said that there was the potential for this to pull back to the 50-day moving average. It was at 81 cents going into the weekend. It's at 83 cents and still rising. The stock is just trapped between both of these moving averages. It's deep oversold on the MACD and stochastics, but you know, this would be fantastic if this stock just treaded water here for a few days. That is not a bad thing, especially given the move up, the downward move, a little bit of consolidation here. INUV, oh my goodness, the Weiner indicator is flashing mega strong buy on this stock. Holy crap, you know, we've got a stock that ranges and goes from 50 to 70 cents over the course of a month. It's an ATM machine spitting out money. It's at the bottom of this range here, and you got guys jumping out the windows. Oh my God, did they read the earnings report? The earnings report was actually really, really, really good. Every stock under the sun got annihilated during the shutdown. These guys, the main reason that we bought this stock was for their AI advertising engine, and it's gaining and growing. Normal pullback, especially with the kind of panic and fear we have out there. So today was the day, shopping day, double up day on this puppy here. Really nice support level. You know, I'm not saying this thing's going to go back to 60 or 70 cents tomorrow, but it's going to gradually move higher here in the near term, especially seeing as we've shaken out a lot of those weekends, as you can see on the indicators over the last couple of days. Got to talk about JAGX. Holy moly. And today the complaint was, oh my God, this is not one of your largest positions? Well, no, because I've picked up more shares than some of these other stocks. This stock has come all the way down. It's got a support level. Now, we had earnings last week, but they gave us no mention of what's going on with their trial for their drug for COVID. So zip, zero, nothing from the company, but the stock's holding up well, sitting in the swing and waiting for that news to come. You know, and if these COVID stocks start to rally again, you know, we'll get a nice, cheap add on this stock. Remember, we've been playing this stock for the last couple of months. It's gone from 40 to 60 to 46 to 80. Then it came down to 55 to 80. Then it came down to 60 to 80. ATM machines. It got an extreme oversold because everything got thrown out the window last week. But now we're putting in a nice little bottom here on a very, very oversold chart. You know, you got to be a little bit patient here sometimes, guys. You can't be expecting to buy a Lamborghini on every trade playing small cap stocks. ARPO, this is one of my larger swings for the COVID space. I call it my baby NAVEX. Strong uptrend here on this one. We're waiting for that break over to probably on a press release where they're going to chase it. Now, right now, we probably don't want a lot of these stocks to put out their COVID press releases, because look at AVCO today. Excellent couple of press releases today. The stock actually popped up as high as almost 220, which is great. You know, 30% or so gain here in the last week and a half after popping, coming back, giving an entry, and popping again, which are the kind of stocks we like. But that news ended up getting sold into today, so we're still seeing that kind of sell into the news on these stocks. A pullback in the large cap stocks will probably bring that volume back to our stocks. So today potentially could be the beginning of that, and then we can start seeing these plays start to move. DSS. Ugh. The amount of complaining on a stock that is an ATM machine. It doesn't get any clear. Where have I seen this movie before? Oh, the stock's at 6, runs to 11. Stock's at 7, runs to 10. Stock's at 6, runs to 10. Back down again, runs to 10. Oh, look, it's back down at the bottom of the range again. I mean, what more can you ask for on these stocks when you know that news is coming? You just got to be patient. Now, I know probably for a fact that the ones who are complaining the most are the ones who bought here. They bought here. They bought here. Because you know why they don't buy down here? They're scared and they're crying. You got to be able to buy these dips, especially on a trading range play like this. It's a no-brainer. The other thing is, you don't go all in on your stocks. That's why we spread our eggs around. 5% max, and that's a rare thing to have a 5% position. 5% max. Most of your positions should be 1 to 2, maybe a couple of 3%ers. and, you know, 1 or 2, 3, maybe 5% positions, but that is it as a max. And that's probably the big mistake a lot of traders are making. Now, the one thing about the market, no one learns a damn thing about trading stocks and being a trader in a market that we've had in the last 3 months. You learn to be a trader in a market that we've seen in the last week. This is what teaches you the discipline to trade correctly. Frsx, this was a fantastic play for us over the last couple of months. I've now made this, picked up a lot of shares on this one today, made this another nice favorite play. It had a big bounce off the 200-day moving average today at 107. The technology these guys have, it blows my mind. I think it's just a matter of when, not if, someone comes in, swoops in, and takes these guys out. Their technology is great. This is the technology Tesla is pushing everyone towards. Excellent bottom bounce off the 200-day moving average. Now, if you added this one today, it doesn't get any simpler than this. It bounced off the 200-day moving average like it did back in June. And when it did the big move in June up and came back and bounced off the 200-day moving average, within a week it gave a 75% gain. So an ad on this one, you already know, hey, it's simple. 107 is my stop on my ad. So 10 cents downside, 25 to 50% upside. They don't get any better than that when you're looking at chart trading on oversold stocks. Mtnb, I really like this stock. I think this technology, it reminds me a lot, and I've said it before, of ZSAN. That was a huge winner for us a couple of weeks ago. Now, remember on ZSAN, when we initially got into this stock, it ran all the way up to 1, then came back 20 cents, and it shook everyone out, and they're all crying and scared on this stock. And I said, wait, this is normal. It's going to take a while for it to break through its 200-day moving average. When it does, and when you typically see that happen, these stocks go crazy. And when it actually did finally break it, 70% move. Now, going back to MTNB, we are underneath the 200-day moving average. It is trying to break out. Now, the technology these guys have is very similar to CVAC and mRNA. These guys are hunting for partners in COVID to use their technology. When that press release comes or it gets leaked, you're probably going to see a big rush up in volume, a push and break of that 200-day moving average, and then the robots are going to come flying into it. OGEN, gone to sleep, which is not a bad thing right now. We've got pretty good support down here. Now, VTGN, I added to my swing position here. I'm still amazed that this stock is under $1. All you keep hearing in the media is about COVID-19, anxiety, everyone losing their jobs, this damn election that's going underway that's going to be probably one of the most ugly country dividing things we've ever had here in the USA. No better time for a drug like this. We're waiting on news for their trial starting in New York for anxiety for COVID. Nice bounce today. You're going to notice this in a lot of the charts, the run from the hills action we saw last week, and then finally, okay, that's enough. Now it's time to buy. We've seen that there on VTGN today. WIMI. Now this has become one of my largest swing positions right now. This chart looks fantastic. TikTok partner. A lot of chatter today that the TikTok deal is going to be done within the next 3 weeks or so. You can see here we're about to get a positive MACD cross. Now I'm going to flip over here. One thing to keep in mind, look at this RSI, gone to sleep as the stock has consolidated here under its 20-day exponential. Now, if we look here, this is a 1 hour chart. It's going to take probably, you know, the downtrend break is around where it was today, 815-ish, but I'm thinking we get a break through 840 and you're going to start to see some of those early trading programs coming in. But this chart looks great for a move. Let's just say to the 9+ area, because if I say anything higher and the stock runs up to 14, but I said it was going to 18, you're going to have these new guys and whiny guys not selling a 50 or 70% gain because, well, it's supposed to go to 18, remember. So let's shoot for 9+ on this one near term. PHUN, this is a very manipulated stock, but everything in the news cycle points to these guys having a big move. The same action we're seeing here is the same action we saw in early August before they let the foot off it and it went up big. So that's what we're seeing on this one right now. Salami, what can I say? Online education, we're starting to see schools open and then go, nope, we got to close now. Salami, like everything else, straight back down, putting in a nice bottom here. Dolphin, this was I sold this swing last week, and as I've said before, if the market's not right, being a trader, you can sell something. It doesn't mean you can't rebuy the stock. Sold this one and rebought it higher because that pickup yesterday, the influencer company, very, very good. Now, like some of these other stocks like Mtnb and ZSAN, we're going to need that break through 106. Now, we did break above it yesterday. We got as high as 108, but then selling came in again and it drifted back down, and we saw a little bit more weakness today. This is normal. We needed bigger volume yesterday to bust this one out. A 10 million volume day will set this one free. Last one I'm going to talk about, IZEA. They had the webinar yesterday. Lots of great information on it, but again, if a stock doesn't run 100% in 4 seconds, guys run out the door. We still have a nice setup on this one. TikTok is upcoming. Going to start seeing more attention on those plays. Stock still in play. Where's support? In the 120s. Simple as that. If it gets back down there, add to swing positions. Simple as that. This is a market, guys, where you need to be comfortable in the stocks that you're holding. You need to have high cash, but you also need to be comfortable in a stock. If you're not okay seeing a stock you have drop another 5 or 10% and okay adding that position down there, then you should not be in that position. So that is a tip or an indicator you can use on whether you should get out of a stock or hold the stock. That's one that I use. Now, last week I ended up going as high as 85% cash, but I went shopping today, so I'm down to the 73 to 75% cash in my swing. Still well above normal. Usually I'm way higher this time of the year in cash, so I'm still bullish on the market, but I'm sitting back. I'm not playing crazy. I'm being cautious, but watching the action. So that's it for the video, guys. Have a great evening, and I will see you all in the chat room tomorrow. Bye.